Paleontology has been described as a three-dimensional jigsaw puzzle with no picture on the box and 3/4 of the pieces missing. A long time ago, I worked with a Kenyan, Isaiah Nengo, and we worked together doing paleontology at a place in Kenya called Songor. Isaiah found a new site fairly recently in northern Kenya, in a place called North Napadet. I wasn't originally part of the project, but I was brought in to look at a specimen that they found, and then loaded the vehicles and headed out and did some field work in North Napadet for about 5 weeks. Primates are very rare in the fossil record. So if you find one, it's incredibly rare to be able to do that. And you end up having to, as a paleontologist who's interested in these things, you end up having to have knowledge about all the other animals. So we found specimens of rhinos, specimens of elephants, specimens of rodents, these sorts of things. And so you have to have some knowledge of these other animals, because actually finding the primates is relatively difficult. So to be a proper field person, you have to be somebody who likes camping a lot. We think of science and think of field work as being very exciting, but a lot of it is actually just walking around and trying to find localities. And then when you find a locality that's producing fossils, a lot of times you have to do things like sieve the soil. Go to a site and it's fossiliferous, which is the word for the sort of Latin word we mean for there are fossils coming out of the ground. A lot of times you find lots of rodents and lots of antelopes and a few primates and a few other things, bats, and you find all kinds of fun stuff. Napadet is weird, and we don't really know why it's weird yet. We're still working on it. But there isn't that background noise in the lower layers, near where some of the primate fossils were found. So you'd be walking along and there'd be nothing and nothing and nothing, and then there'll be more or less a complete rhino skeleton. Then you'd spend a lot of time in the lab reconstructing this and putting it together. So a lot of paleoanthropological work is done in places that are very hot and very dry and very dusty. So it's not terribly pleasant work to do. So for example, when we were in North Napadet, it was 38 degrees every day. And because it's a desert, there's lots of dust and lots of sand, and the sand gets in everywhere. But when the rewards come, they're pretty cool.